for our speakers, please write them down on the small slip of paper that you were given when you arrived. One of our GIC top volunteers will collect it from you during the Q&A portion, which will be led by one of our English-speaking volunteers. Now, without further hesitation, please welcome Heather, Calen, and Cathy with a big round of applause.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Today I'm going to be telling you about the musical The Last 5 Years, written and composed by Jason Robert Brown. And we will be performing this in Gwangju on July 17th, 18th and 19th this year. Get excited! So that's me. My name is Heather. I graduated from the University of Melbourne and have a bachelor's and master's in science. I majored in chemistry. So why I'm doing a musical, I don't know. I'm the president of the GPP, who is putting on this play, and I came to South Korea last year. No, 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, I lived in Suncheon for 1 year, and then I moved to Gwangju because I loved it so much. Anyway, that's not me. Oh, well, I guess not. My background in the performing arts, whilst I didn't do my university training in performing arts, I've been performing since I was 3 and hold diplomas in music and dance teaching. So this is me when I used to be a dancer. That's my hometown in Australia, in Melbourne. This was an orchestra that I managed when I was in university. They're doing handles in that picture. And this is the GPP choir, and a choir from the university in Gwangju after we performed at the May 18th concert last year. So, as I told you earlier, The Last 5 Years is written by this man, Jason Robert Brown. I have a few notes down here. He was born in 1970, so he's only 45 now. Very young composer, but has had a very decorated career already. He's Jewish, and that's important to note because of the play. The play features a young Jewish writer based on himself, and I'll talk about that in a minute. He's married, he's got 2 daughters, and this is his 2nd marriage that he's in, and that's also important. He originally started as a pianist, and when he was training in the performing arts, he went to a music festival, an arts festival, and he saw Sweeney Todd, the musical Sweeney Todd, and he loved it. And he says that if it hadn't have been for that, he would have attempted to have a career as Billy Joel. So his first show, big show that he put on, was called Songs for a New World, and it was highly successful, and it got the attention of a man called Hal Prince, and whose daughter was the assistant director of Songs for a New World. And he ended up asking Jason Robert Brown to write music for the musical Parade. You've probably heard of that one. And he ended up winning the Tony Award that year for Best Musical Score. He's a teacher as well as a composer. He teaches at the University of South California. And he also has a band where he plays the piano with Cygan and Gwangju. His musical style is frustratingly unique. He has strange beats and everything's always changing and he never keeps the same beat throughout a song, which makes my job very difficult, but also exciting and challenging and fun. He has unconventional harmonies and he expects basses to be able to sing soprano, but when it's done, he ends up creating something magical. And he's definitely done this in this musical. So, I mentioned before that he's now in his second marriage. And when he was getting over his first marriage and his divorce, he wrote this musical. And it is the story of his marriage and its breakup. In fact, it was the original score and story was so close to his story that his ex-wife threatened to sue. And he ended up changing a song so that the character was a little bit different. So that's why he wrote it. And he put it on in Chicago and then it went off Broadway and it was a great success and it ended up winning 2 Drama Desk Awards. Here to tell you it's a great musical. So, why are we putting on a musical in Gwangju? Well, I guess I've answered that there a little bit, why not? But last year we did the cabaret and it was a huge success and we oversold our tickets and everyone loved it, and so why not do something more structured? Why not have a musical? And why the last 5 years? Well, the last 5 years, when it was written, only had 2 people in it. It's the story of a relationship from conception to breakdown. And so it's small, fairly easy to put on, low budget. It would be great to be able to do something like Chicago or Pirates of Penzance. They've just done that in Seoul. But we needed to test the waters first and make sure that there's the interest and the people to do it. And we ended up definitely having the people. We've increased our cast. We have 2 vocalists and 3 dancers in the cast. So there's definitely interest, and it's going to be really exciting to see how successful it is in Gwangju. Here's the story. The story, as I said, is a love story from its conception to its breakdown. But it's a little bit more interesting than that. The male character, Jamie, his story is told from the start of the relationship to the end of the relationship. But the woman's story is told from the end of the relationship to the start of the relationship. And the 2 characters never meet until the very center of the play, when they get married. It's quite so, it's not the sort of play that you would go to and not think. The very nature of the way the story is told forces you to think about what's going on. For anyone worried about translation and not understanding, don't worry about that. The music tells the story, the actors tell the story. Yeah? So don't worry about that. You can understand what's going on. What's special? Well, I just told you one thing about that. The other thing is that there's really only one big show tune in the whole musical. You're actually going to hear it today. The music in this play just so diverse. You've got pop and rock and ballads and Jewish music and classical and show tunes and folk music. It's so diverse, it's so interesting and exciting, and it's very heavy on strings and piano, and so it's simple but fascinating, and you can't help but be drawn in and excited by the story and care about the characters and kind of hate the characters too, because they are so human and it's so obvious. So now I would like to welcome one of our cast. And actually, before I let you speak, I'm just going to introduce the people that we have in the audience today who are involved in the musical. So this is Calen. She plays the part of Cathy. Caitlin.
They're not the same person.
Yeah. And we have Calen here, who's playing the role of Jamie, but as the dancer. She's not a vocalist. We have Adam here, who is the vocalist for the part of Jamie. We have our stage manager, Chris, and our wonderful producer, Anna. So, if you have any questions after the show, after the talk about the show, the people to come and talk to. Okay.
As she said, my name is Caitlin O'Neill. I prefer cat, like meow. Okay. Cat. I went to the University of Montana in Missoula, where I majored in art. So I have a Bachelor of Arts in Theater. So I've been doing this my whole life, as long as I can remember. I would sing 80s Madonna songs and wish I was her. So performing has always been very important to me. I am currently the vice president of the Gwangju Performance Project, which means I help Heather with everything that I can. Main support system. I've been in Korea since February of 2013, so this is my 3rd year, and I love it. I love Korea. The healthcare, everything. That's at the front of my mind right now, but everything's great. So, yeah, the GPP is wonderful. I got involved last year when I posted about wanting to start a choir, and Anna and Heather got in touch with me and said, oh, well then let's start a choir. So I've been stuck there ever since. Okay, let's talk about, let's talk about Cathy Hyatt, my character. She, as you said, she is a struggling actress. And as an actress, the first thing I do when going to a character and creating a character is finding the similarities. How am I the same as this character? And right off the bat, struggling actress is like number one. Because anyone who's ever been to audition after audition after audition and hearing no, 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 constant no, it's very hard. And it's hard to stick with. You have to have a really thick skin. So most of the play is her not only struggling to keep her marriage alive, but it's struggling to get her career started. Theater is a very hard profession to get into. So there's a lot of frustration and anger and jealousy and envy of her husband because he's so successful. And that doesn't help her to keep things going. One theme that I have picked up on through my character development and just by becoming familiar with the play is the theme of self-sabotage. How we sabotage ourselves because we're insecure for a specific example, as an actress going into an audition, if you are unsure about it, if you think I'm not good enough to be here, you ruin the audition for yourself. You can self-sabotage yourself. And it's the same in relationships. The first time I was in love, I held on so tight because I was so afraid to lose it that I ended up making it way worse. So she is very human, and she's flawed, just like we are. So that's all I have.
All right, and as Heather introduced, I'm Calen. Where does this go? Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Down.
All right. So my name is Cygan. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh. Woo. And I studied anthropology, linguistics, and Italian language. I lived in Gwangju since July of 2012. This place has a very strong hold on me. It's a very wonderful place. But unlike some of the other girls, I don't have any theater background, which is one of the reasons I love Gwangju so much. This is something I would never have gotten into if I was back in America. If I was in Pittsburgh and I said, oh, we're doing a musical, I have no experience. There is no way that I would even have the courage to audition, and if I did, there's no way. Talk about self-sabotage. But I have no professional training. But with so many things in Gwangju, if you're interested, there's a way you can do it. And there are people that will support you. So, if there's anything you want to do, try it. I'm portraying Jamie as the dancer. So Adam is the singer, I am the dance aspect of that. So mostly pantomiming out a lot of the songs, or some of the songs. There's the only dance training that I have. Pretty sure this was taken in 1995 or so. So about 20 years ago is the last professional training that I ever had. So back to Jamie. As Heather pointed out about the writer of the Jason Robert Brown. Yes, thank you. He's Jewish. Clearly, Jamie Wellerstein is also Jewish. He is an up-and-coming author, so he is very opposite of Cathy. Where Cathy struggles, he is thriving. There are lines through the songs about how he's getting published without even having to rewrite any words. You know, his editor loves him, and he's really successful. And also, like Heather said, his story starts at the beginning. So he's talking about how in love he is, where Cathy's talking about how heartbroken she is. And he is a very selfish and egotistical character. The success really goes straight to his head, and he thinks that he is caring for Cathy, but he really isn't. And I don't want to give too much away, because I want you all to come to the musical. But right now, preview.
So we're now going to have a little preview of the musical. And this song, A Summer in Ohio, Cathy has gotten an acting job touring for the summer and is in Ohio. And as you'll find out, it's not the dream job that she hoped it would be. I hope you enjoy this.
kind of creepy and scary. I was looking at their numbers, realizing I've been here longer than all of them, and that's really kind of scary because I was only supposed to be here for a year. So I'm not really sure what happened. But Gwangju is awesome, and I actually was in theater when I was in high school and junior high, and then went to university, super small theater department, didn't really want to be a part of it, and then I was a grown-up, and I used clothes. And for 10 years I was a grown-up, and I had a real job and a house and a mortgage, and realized that that was totally not me. And so I moved to Korea, and I became a teacher, and found myself, and realized that life is actually really cool. And then Heather approached me and asked if I would be her stage manager. And I thought about it. Pretty good at telling people what to do. And I'm fairly organized, and so it works really well for me. And actually, speaking of that, if anyone would like to know what it is like to work backstage, and you've never had the experience but you kind of want to try it, I do have some smaller things backstage, and I would be happy to show you what to do. So if that is something you'd be interested in, afterwards, please come up and talk to me, and I'll see if I can find something for you so that you can experience what theater is like from behind the stage. You don't get the limelight, but you get to feel good and know that you have helped make that possible. And that's kind of a really cool feeling. So I hope you guys all come out and support us. And that's really all I have to say.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope that you're excited about the musical and you're going to come and see it. It's too small. But the shows are going to be on July 17th, that's a Friday, at 7 p.m. Saturday the 18th at 2 and 7 p.m. And on Sunday, I'm staring at Emma, making sure I get this right. On Sunday the 19th at 2 p.m. as well. If you would like to book a ticket, please email Gwangju. No, sorry, that's wrong. Don't do that. Please email gpptickets@gmail.com.